Hello and welcome to my channel and to the last of our 10 days of bits and pieces challenge. This one is focal point ephemera. Now, um, I'm kind of sort of just showing you all the sorts of things that I use for focal points, and then I'm going to show you about clusters, how you can make sort of pre-made clusters ready to put into your journals using a focal point ephemera. So I have a whole host of things here. Some that I have bought new, some that I have bought from sort of vintage places, antique places, some that I have from paper pads, new and old, some that I have fussy cut, and some that I've got out of magazines. There's all sorts. So it's one of those things that you can spend money on, or you can also look for other ways of getting them, because all sorts of things can be focal points. So if we start with like bought and probably the more expensive end. So I had here I've got these are those three are Stamperia ephemera, and they're adhesive die cuts. So I've got Precious Collection, Shabby Rose, Golden Harmony. Somewhere I've got House of Roses as well. This one similar. This is a Prima Marketing one. It's a Frank Garcia Capri collection. So it's, just bits and pieces that you can use as focal points for your journal pages. So that's kind of like pre-printed stuff. If I look at, oh, well, this is another thing. I've used this before. I have multiple copies of this because I love them, but they are hard to get hold of. I think in a previous video I have linked a possible site. I got them from Janie's Originals at a retreat. They're not something that she sells on her website. But these look really sort of old, kind of Victorian style. So you literally just snip. They come, each pack has two sides, and you literally just snip off. And I love these. They're a go-to for me. So there's some beautiful florals there. Sort of most roses, that one. Then there's one with butterflies and sort of moths, and then there's another one more florals, but not so roses on one side, but other florals on the other side. So those are a go-to. And somewhere I have here we go, some that I've already snipped into that I haven't, that I probably got out for a particular thing. I don't think that one is. I think that's something else, but these definitely are from this collection. So those are great. But it's I like florals, and I do use florals a lot. I also like butterflies. So that's that. Now these are from paperbacks. Now this one's really old, and it's one that I've had for ages. I never use it. It's Craftwork cards, and if you're a card maker and you know your brands, you'll know how old Craftwork cards is. It is no longer in existence, but this was in, I don't know if it was a magazine or what. So I've got another sheet that will pop up later, but these ones I cut out and use as focal points for my journal pages. This particular one, I'm trying to find I've got the shelves next to me on the left. I'm just having a look through my multiple paper pads here to see if I can find the one that came from. I'm not 100% sure because I do have quite a lot. Yeah, no, I don't know, but it's most likely a Craft Sensations 12 by 12 pad, and I would have got it in the range. That's in the UK. So these ones here are quite large focal points. Again, florals. You see, I like my florals. And then on this page, the Craft Sensation pads tend to have these little pages with small kind of sayings or sentiments along with these small ones. So these small ones here you can cut out and make focal points, which we might do later. So that's another sort of bought thing. To put those over, to move these in, go through them bit by bit. So then stickers is another thing. I have a lot of washi stickers, and you can use those as focal points. I mean, these ones would make a great focal point. I can mark that packet. I haven't yet put them back in. I do like things in my little packets and envelopes. Um, these ones are not washi stickers, so again, they would make a nice focal point. That's what we're kind of looking for. So stickers are another possibility. So let's put those on. I won't put that so because they shine in the light too much. Right then, what have I got here? So things that I've got from vintage shop, antique shop. So these little, I have these and I want to use them, but every time I get them out, I think, oh, I don't know, do I want to break into these? These are I found in one of those little emporium places. I think they were £1 each. They are of places. So in Devon, so North Devon. I don't live there, but I have been there multiple times, and I do love the area. And I just think it's a beautiful little snaps, and they are beautiful conditions. So that one's North Devon. So we've got, if you're in the UK, you might have heard these places: Lynmouth Harbour, Combe Martin, Heddon's Mouth, Ilfracombe, Clovelly, Momshead, Ilfracombe, Woolacombe, Lynmouth, Clovelly, yeah. And then this one, these are all in Lynmouth. Again, in North Devon. Beautiful, beautiful. So there's those. So that's, if you go to antique type shops or emporiums, those are the sort of things to look out for. I couldn't leave them there at £1. Other thing, I've got a huge collection of cigarette cards that again I bought in vintage places. So I've got some real old sort of style. Well, they're not old cards per se, but they are old images. And if you don't like the whole cigarette things, you can always cut into them or cut that bit off. And it says there, a lady about 1750. So I've got those. I've got some which are flowers, and I've got some which are dogs. So a whole load of those that can be used as a focal point. What else have I got? So that's why I like these things in sort of translucent kind of pockets, because I can see what I'm doing then. Right, so all of these ones are fussy cuts or sort of cutouts from Janie's original collections and paper packs. So here we've got these little cameo type ones. Some are actually sort of buy pre-printed in the paper pack from Janie. Some are digital. Yeah, these ones are seed packet ones that can be used, and she is very heavily, well, yeah, she loves her entomology. So lots of butterflies and mushrooms and things that I've fussy cut from various papers of hers and collections of hers. These again are, and I don't tend to fussy cut right up with these, because what I would do is I would get my inks out and ink around those to sort of dull the white edge. And also, that's something else I will get up. These were part of a paper pack. These sort of nice old-fashioned collage type cabinet cards, but also, bear with me because I've realised what's something else. This is my where I keep all the little cards, the A7 type cards that I get that Janie makes. So we've got things like this, entomology type ones. Let's see what else we've got. So, yeah, ones like that. I've got a few different collections in here. So here we've got some more florals. I think that one is called Vintage Florals. Let's see. There's all vintage florals, and I think then we go back the other way. What have we got? Oh, and here we've got more of the cabinet cards without the collagey stuff, just purely, the cabinet cards. Let's see if I flick through. I think these ones also come with the cabinet cards. So all these things, that can be used. I think these ones are museum. That's the museum pack. One's the entomology, one's the museum pack. So, there's all sorts of those that I've got for potential focal points. So at the moment, all I'm doing is just showing the sorts of things that I would use or could use and then I'll show you two ways of doing things. Then the final thing, these are cut from a magazine. They're all cut from the same series of magazines called The Simple Things. If you've ever heard of it, you might pop in your feed. It's a lovely magazine. It has recipes. In fact, bear with me. I'm going to go and find the November copy has just landed. And I haven't even had a chance to properly go through it. So The Simple Things, this is it. Taking time to live well, that's the philosophy. And this month they all have a thing. This month is spice. So, some recipes, how to use things, give someone a hug in the post. It's all about living a better stressless life. But when I finish with them, just things like this to cut out for using for focal points like these. Beautiful. And obviously, if I put them into my journals, they're not something I'm selling. And I would just, if I use them in a video, whatever I do, sort of say that I got them out of, see, look, poems, these little pause poems. This one, the bottom of the pan was a palette, paprika, cayenne, dania, haldi, heaped like powder paints. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful magazine. But it doesn't have to be this magazine, whatever magazines you get, once you finish reading them, they're just going to go into the bin or the recycling. So, cut the bits out. I mean, obviously don't claim artwork or anything as your own, but, so in here I've got smaller bit. I mean, just fabulous little bits. It's whatever takes your fancy. Sometimes you look through things and think, I mean, that's pretty. Sometimes they don't take that fancy. Now, big things, some of those in there are bigger. Those stuff in. And this one, this is very big. So I wouldn't make clusters with these. These would just be something I would choose to put straight into the magazine. So there's another of those paused poems, another one there. So yeah, so all of those have been collected. So if you can't afford to, buy lots of ephemera, then look at the magazines that you got, or and cut things out of there. So that's a whole plethora of things that can be used for making ephemera. Now, there are two ways that I would do it. Sometimes I just want to pick something up ready to put on. So these are what we call clusters. So I've chosen my image and I've just mounted it on. That looks like a ticket with a bit of washi tape. And then these I can just literally go through, oh, that would fit in what I'm doing, or this would fit in with what I'm doing. Just a little bit of a collage. If you watched which one did I put? Was it my tags one? Well, anyway, it's irrelevant. I make collage strips like a mini masterboard, if you like, and then you could cut into those as a backdrop for for starting a cluster, like so. Now, the other thing that's really big at the moment, or these aren't, so there's more clusters. The other, like I was about to say, the other thing that's really big at the moment is decorating playing cards. So I've got a few playing cards that that's another one of those that I have decorated. So, you know, they can be used as a focal point. I mean, you can either like say, right, that's what's going to be my focal point and build everything around it, or go with what you're feeling for the background and then look for something in your stash that fits. So we're going to make a couple of, I'll make a few live and then I'll make some more later. But also I might get one of my journals out and decorate a page, choose a focal point and decorate a page that way. Okay, so I'm going to tidy up a little bit and then I will be back with looking at clusters. I have chosen some things that I think I will make some clusters with. So I've got one of the bits I cut from the magazine. I picked out some cigarette cards. There's one of those kind of decorative cabinet style cards. Some of those little bits from that cut out. This is one of the Stamperia ones from Shabby Rose, and some of those little, you know, because I can never resist those and I use those a lot. Okay, so those are kind of your focal point, but to make a cluster, you're going to need some other things. So you need kind of a base. So what I've done is I've just found some double-sided papers. Some of these might be absolutely no good. Some of them, because some of them look a bit bright. So it might be that I have to, yeah, I didn't really look through these first. So I'm not sure that they'll be good because they're a bit too in your face, but we'll put them to the side. I've over the years bought some random little paper packs. And so I've just put together a few. These are like collage sheets. These are a good place to start. So for example, that might be my base. Might use, it's quite big, that one actually, as for a cluster. I mean, it doesn't matter really, but well, how about that one? Can always be cut down. In fact, these two, now I'm getting into them, they feel too big. I mean, that one might work. But we'll see. So I've got those. I've got some smaller ones there. I might have to dig into some other papers. So you kind of need a base. And then, you know, things to add. So I've got stamps. I've got some old stamps that I can add for a bit of collage. What else have I got? This is that other sheet. Do you remember I said that old craftwork card sheet? Now these ones I would just use as collage elements rather than focal points. So we might cut into that. What else did I get? Oh, things like these labels, good for layering. Maybe giving yourself a little bit of a collage. So there's those. Ooh, brush bang. So I have some doilies. They might be make a nice base for cluster. So I've got doilies. What's I got in there? Oh, some like banner things. But yeah, my die cut shapes might come out. You know, any sort of bits that you can layer, use up your scraps. I'm going to grab this one because this, I might find some better papers in here. What else? I've also got this. These are I got a lot of happy, is it the Happy Journal? Something like that. They came with those, so those might be useful. Some bits here, some other papers. You know, I'm probably looking for more muted for layering on. Again, these are all craftwork card ones. I was very into craftwork cards, but these kind of things will be good for making clusters. So it's a case of of making, like I showed you the ones I've already made, that it's you know, you've got your focal point and then you've got something with it, and then you're ready to just stick that straight into your journal. Okay, so let's see. Now I'm not going to show you everything, because if you've seen videos of me making these before, I tend to prevaricate a lot. You know, backwards and forwards of what I might like to do. See, I think that looks nice with that one. So I think we might use that. Also, things like your lace, your sari ribbon, you know, fabric scraps, all those sorts of things can be used in clusters. And also, this is why I keep, like, you know, just little handfuls of fibers. Yeah, that you can just, you know, stick under. So there's all sorts. I think what I'll do is I might have a think, put some stuff together, and then come back and show you what I've done and put it together, rather than you watching me make the decisions, because I could be here a while. So it won't be any time for you. I'll be straight back, but for me, it's going to take me a little while to get my head around one or two to show you, and then I'll make the rest off camera. I have spent a little time sorting out some bits and pieces, not completely sorted, but getting there. And what I've also got out now, crash, is I just have my stickers, washi stickers, pet stickers, all sorts of stickers, and washi tapes. But I think I've got the basis. Now, in addition to what I went through earlier, I remembered my die cut shapes, tickets, whether they're real or whether they're, you know, sort of reproduction ones, are great for bases. Also, so this one here, I cut in half for two of these, but this came as part of the packaging of a pack of stickers. So, you know, keep hold of bits of that. The other thing was, I had some playing cards already decorated, nothing on them, but the base is decorated. So I've managed to use a couple of those. So, and oh, I knew I'd missed one. I'm going to leave that one, I think, because I've been through everything else and got bits and pieces, and I missed that one, but never mind. So, let's take this one, for example. Right, how am I going to do this just so that you can see? Right, I'm just going to do a little bit of piling up so that you can see one thing at a time. I think we might do that one. And see sort of where my thought processes go. See that? Oh, I've got that thing on that one. So they can be big, they can be small. Let's just put those up there for the minute. And then we can concentrate on this one. So I picked out, this is just a reproduction ticket. I don't know where I've cut that from, but from somewhere. And I went through my die cut shapes, and I found a couple of shapes nicely coordinating there. That will go on there, and I've got a little bit of sari ribbon. I like my clusters generally to hang over the sides, give it a bit more sort of shape. I don't always do it, and I probably won't do it with all of these, but that's as simple as it gets. So I started with this. This was going to be my focal point, and then I wanted something to go with it. So, you know, just have a look through. If you don't have anything that completely matches, if you've got inks, then, you know, you can ink things. Just making sure I've got those in the right place, pretty much. And then put some glue across there, the sari ribbon. Oh, I'm going to need another lot of glue because I've doubled that over, so let's pat that down. You won't see all the sort of gluey bits because I'm going to put this over the top of it. Okay, yeah, and I think every bit needs a bit of glue. like so. So there you go. It's my very first cluster, simple as that. Nice, like sort of peachy rose with stuff. So this one is from the stamp area. So, oh, I don't think you need to be in there. I keep it quite nice. And so I've found this in that pile of random bits of paper that came in a pack. I found this in my lace scraps. So we're going to, I think I might get some washi tape on this, just underneath something down here. What can I've got some wide ones, I've got some thinner ones. Oh no, I don't think I want another script. But maybe the adverts one. Let's go with the adverts one. Now with this one, you know, honestly, I can't remember where I've got half of these things. You can cut them out individually, as you can see. So I'm going to just cut that also, because what I'll do is I'll hold this up behind. So with washi, if you're not used to washi, it's sort of got a translucency to it. So you see the design of the washi. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this off. Let's get my oh, for goodness sake. Oh, that's not going to come, is it? There we go. So you can also see roughly what's underneath. Because it's similar colours, you probably can't with this. So I'm just going to literally fold that over like that. So that gives us another kind of sort of interest on that thing. Am I going to stick these? This is what I'm trying to decide. Am I sticking these under here? Did I have 3? Are you part of this one? I think you might be. Or are you part of that one? No, I don't know. I'm losing the bits here. I think that one underneath like that, and that one on top like that. I mean, when I do layouts, I also like to use words. I've got a big box of words and quotes. So this would probably have a word or a quote attached to it. I might even later, you know, go through and add something. The reason I tend not to is because it depends, you know, if it might not fit the layout, the sort of the cluster itself might fit the layout, but if I add some words to it, it might not be quite what I want on that particular layout. So we tend not to. I think I put too much glue because I've gone over the sides of it and I forgot about that. So I've unfortunately got glue going everywhere. Okay, now that will take a little time to just fix itself, but what you don't want to do is put too much glue on to when you're doing fabric or lace. Now these are nice and chunky. These are the, she says, am I peeling off the right thing? What? Still there, I peeled too far back. There we go. There we go. So now we've got a nice, yeah, I think I've peeled, I've gone too far back up there. So bear with me. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there to make sure that that stays together. Well, it will when I stick it down. So then this is going to go on the top like so. So that's another one. I think the time is taken up when you're choosing, which is why I tend to do en masse like this. I thought I'd do this one. This is another bit of the packaging from a sticker pack, and then this is one of the cigarette cards. I just love those colours, and I found, oh, that's a pain. Let me just stick that down. I found, in my box, these lovely colours that go so well with that. I don't know, do I want that one? I possibly don't. I'm thinking maybe I do need something. But I don't know if it's that. I'm not sure about that one now. Maybe we just go for that. And I know I've got a sticker that I know I definitely want to put on this one. And that's this one. So I tend to sort of do it in layers. So I know I want to stick that one there. And if I'm not sure if I'm going to remember, so I'll just stick a little pencil line. I'm not going to see that pencil line. Something else will stick over it. So that one's going there. And then sometimes I just go for it. Sometimes I do, make sure that things are where I want them to be. And I think that one can go kind of there. It's kind of like that. So it's just over. And then I've got this massive one. This was in a pack of things I got. But I thought that having a mat, similar sort of colours, yeah, so that just looks brilliant. So we're going to go with it. Those like that one a bit more under, I think. Like that. A bit more, I think. Here's a case of auditioning the things. Is it working how you want it? I'd say take more time probably than I'm doing. Now I'm just trying to decide, do I want that? I think I want that straight. I think we're going to just put that. See, this is the other thing I love about some of these. Look at that. Beautiful. And unfortunately on this, I say unfortunately, on this one, I'm sticking that down, but it's worth having a look at some of these old cigarette cards because they are beautiful. So I'm going to, do I have a little bit of washi tape? I don't want to add that. Do you know what? I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to stick with we're going to go with the transport services down here, like that. And then I know I'm just going to snip that a little bit off because it's sticky. And then somewhere on that particular sticker roll, which is one that I do need to get more of, there are numbers. So what we might do is number 10 because that's a nice kind of stick it there. So that's a nice one for a masculine type layout, but I do love that. I love that. Okie dokie. So I'm going to do one more with you, and then I'm going to go ahead and how many have I done? I've done 3. Do one more. I'm gonna bring this one in. This is quite a big one, with quite a few layers. So on this one, I've gone with a piece of that paper that I showed you. It's a collage paper. I don't know where I got it from. I'm going to use a doily. You can get doilies from all over the place. I'm only going to put the glue in the middle. I quite like it sort of loose. And then, as you can see, I always pick it up because I can see the layers that I put down and I can just work out where do I want that. Wondering, do I want something? Do you know, I don't think I do need anything else. I was thinking, do I want something else on that one? I don't. So I'm going to stick this one. I know I'm not going to see that. So That's going to stick there like that. The lace is going across like that. So let's try and work out how much glue I need, where I need the glue, so I don't do like I did on the other one. You see with the lace, I just tend to little dots on where you can. If you can, just put it on like the thicker bit of lace, the more opaque bit of lace. And then that's going to go there. And then this is going to go there. Like so. There's another one. I might actually cut those down a little bit. I think they're just a little bit too much. But that's okay. So, right. So I've made 4 with you. I've got a few more to do. I will be back when I have finished them. I now have my clusters. So my clusters which have focal point and some sort of collagey background that can be just put straight into a journal. So this was cut from a piece of from a magazine. The tape. This tape was from packaging from a company called Craftelia that I get bits and pieces from. Sometimes it works out cheaper. If you're willing to wait longer in the UK, Craftelia is a good place for good value craft stuff and die cut. So then here, one of my nice Victorian ones. Here I've used one of the cigarette cards, a bit of a doily, one of the decorated cards, and some washi tape. This is a bit of wallpaper. This is a little one, just a tiny little one with the peonies in the vase. Just three die cut circles on. This was a bit of packaging from stickers. So a little bit of paper, some little die cuts, all very tonal on this one and the background. A little bit of green lace and my floral, another little one. A little bit of green lace, little die cut. And another tiny little one, literally this time just a ticket, a die cut, and a bit of washi tape. A slightly bigger ticket, a couple of bits of lace with the die cuts. This one I did earlier. I really like that one. Did that one earlier, and I did that one earlier, and this one, and then this one. It's one of the cigarette cards, one of the decorated playing cards, some die cuts and a bit of lace. And then another one here, another cigarette card, bit of lace, a bit of sari ribbon and some die cuts. So yeah, so I now have a nice stash of clusters for my things. I'm not going to do a full page one because I think what I might do is actually do a full page using as many bits as I can from our 10 days of bits and pieces. So maybe a bit of the tape, some of the collage paper, that kind of thing, see what I can come up with. So thank you for joining me. I've really enjoyed this challenge, yeah, I shall be looking out for more to take part in, and hopefully if you found me via this, then you'll enjoy staying for some of the other stuff that I do, including the bookbinding. So thank you for joining me, and yeah, great, thank you.